You ready for this? Hey, what's up, everyone? Renee, LOWKEY Geek here, and we've come to it. Episode 8, Chapter 24, the final episode of Season 3 of The Mandalorian. This is for all the marbles. This is for all the cookies. This is for all the fans who have been dying to see something come out of this whole season. And we're here and we're ready, right? Look, it's been apparent that this season has been very divisive amongst the Star Wars community, especially since you had two strong seasons of The Mandalorian. And this is one of those seasons where I think most of the time people were just wondering, what exactly is happening here? What is the end goal? What is the end story? Where are we trying to go? What are we trying to achieve? How come we're not getting a lot of din? How come, Mando himself, it hasn't been the main focus? And quite honestly, it's been like the story of Bo-Katan, which is not terrible, but I think it's kind of thrown people off a little bit, right? So it'll be interesting to see how this season closes out, but what's going to be more interesting is what's going to happen beyond this. Like, what's going to happen to a Mandalorian season 4, because there hasn't been a lot of talks about that. I think a lot of the focus has been put in on Ahsoka and some of the other shows that are coming up on Disney Plus, like Skeleton Crew and The Acolyte, but not a lot of talk about The Mandalorian Season 4. Not a lot of talk about Jon Favreau moving forward, which is kind of odd, especially like during Celebration and all that. Lots of rumors abound, and we could cover that later on. But it's just going to be really interesting. Where are we going to leave off here, and how is that going to translate into future seasons? Quickly, just to recap some of the takeaways from last episode last week. Disney marketing was like, you know what? We need to turn Grogu into another toy. We need to sell more merchandise. So why don't we just make him a mech? Which is one of the major takeaways I had, where it's like we now have the future holiday toy of the season, where, Grogu has merged with IG-12. Used to be IG-11. We saw IG-11 talked about earlier in the season, and then it just kind of been thrown away. But now it's been restructured into IG-12, which is more of like a robot kind of suit. So made specifically for Grogu so that he could sit in it and be Voltron, just be like a Macross or something like that, where he can just go around and he can talk now by saying yes and no by the push of a button. And he has like the strength of this robot, which is fascinating. And I could just picture all the marketing heads at Disney and Kathleen Kennedy just be like, we need to sell more Grogu toys. We need to, sell merchandise, because Grogu is, the big draw of this show. Wow. I was really, really floored by that, and I thought that was really interesting. But the real takeaway, I would say, is that, everyone's now back on Mandalore. Yeah, Bo-Katan, re-teamed up with her own clan, teaming up with Mando's clan, and they're trying to take over or reclaim Mandalore. They come across some other refugees there, call them like the pirate Mandalorians and all that, and they're all trying to team up. And unbeknownst to them, Moff Gideon has already set up a base on Mandalore, and because of mining Mandalore's resources, he was able to come up with Beskar armor to kind of come up with his newer form of death troopers that are now looking like Mandalorians. They're all suited up in their Beskar armor and all that, and by utilizing the clone technology that's been in the Star Wars universe for decades at this point, they are utilizing the clone army with the Beskar Mandalorian armor so that he can build his own army of death trooper Mandalorians. And he even made himself a suit, so he's like super Moff Gideon and all that. So that's gonna be the main conflict now. You have Bo-Katan with her crew and Din's crew, their clans, and they're going to try to take over Mandalore fighting Moff Gideon. Now, Mando himself got captured by Moff Gideon, whisked away somewhere. Paz Vizsla, the broody, hard-headed, meatheady type of Mandalorian, sacrificed himself to make sure that everyone can escape, and he is now deceased by the hands of the Praetorian guards that are now teamed up with Moff. Moff Gideon. Another thing to mention too is that my boy Heir to the Empire. Thrawn was mentioned earlier in the episode because you had like secret pockets of the Empire waiting for the arrival of Thrawn to reclaim ownership and power of the Empire. You got his buddy there that is from the Legacy books, which was really awesome to see. You had Hux, the father of General Hux there, as part of the conversation, but you also saw Moff Gideon kind of like impatient and be like, well, I've been hearing so much about this Thrawn, yet he never shows himself or anything like that. So maybe it's time for new management, and it looks like he's trying to take over that. So my speculation before going into this episode is that I think we're going to hear a mention of Thrawn. I think Thrawn is going to definitely make a presence, and this could potentially lead to the Ahsoka series and all that because, as we all know, Ahsoka has been hunting down Thrawn, trying to find him, along with trying to see if Ezra's still alive and everything like that. So I think there's a good chance that we're going to get a Thrawn mention here to maybe leave everything at a cliffhanger that is supposed to be picked up at the beginning or when Ahsoka the series starts off. So who knows? I'm wearing this shirt because, first of all, I love this shirt, and this was like one of my favorite trilogies of books in Star Wars after the original trilogy when it came out. It was the only other Star Wars stuff that we got during that time. Now we have Star Wars up the yin yang and everything, but I really do think Thrawn is going to be the next major presence in the Star Wars universe moving forward. I don't know for how long, but at least for a decent amount of time. So I'm really excited to see that. And I think we may get a mention here, but who knows? We'll see. This is chapter 24. It's 41 minutes, a little shorter than I was hoping for, especially like last week. It was 52 minutes. The week before that was like 45. Let's see. Let's hope that we're going to get something cool and interesting to close out this season. But before we get into watching all that, and if you are brand new to this channel, as always, don't forget, hit that like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified every time a new video is posted. Only takes you a couple seconds, doesn't cost you a thing, and will definitely help grow this community and help spread the word out on this channel to everyone who may be interested. If you're looking for Low-Key Geek on the go, type in Low-Key Geek on your podcast platform of choice, where you could find audio versions of things that we do here on the channel. The recap portions of these episodes will be found there as well, so that you could listen to things either at the gym, in your car, on the toilet, however you like to listen to the podcast. So definitely check it out, download, listen, leave a good rating if it prompts you. Greatly appreciated. And lastly, if you're in a position to help further grow the channel and support the channel, definitely check out the affiliates you can find in the description of this episode. I partnered up with some cool companies that could provide, decent stuff for you or a loved one. And if you participate in any of the offers that we have there, you'll be helping support this channel at no additional cost to you. It's springtime, people are going out and about looking for cool things. If you're looking for cool date ideas, then definitely check out Fever. They have some cool events depending on the city that you're in. If you want cool shirts similar to like this, check out 80stees.com. They're also pretty dope, and they have a great code for you to utilize there at checkout for a discount. But check out anything that you feel free to check out, and if there's something cool there, let me know about it too in the comments. If you participated and you bought yourself something nice, or you bought a loved one something nice, let me know what did you participate in. All right, without further ado, let's go. Season finale, chapter 24, episode 8, The Mandalorian. Let's kick it. Oh, cool. We get to see. It literally is a pickup from the last episode. I like that.
Gideon is alive. He's using our homeworld as his base. They're sending up fighters to destroy the fleet.
I like this camera angle. That's pretty cool. It's like, it's almost like Superman or the Rocketeer. It's so cool to see. Oh, there they are. Mando troopers. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, Din. What happened? You got captured. There we go. Shoot my braces off. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Yes. He did the Arnold Schwarzenegger chokeout. Click. Of course. There he is. Son to the rescue. With his new mecha android suit.
I'm okay.
I love he's spraying him down. That's funny. Is he crying?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was crying.
Grogu, I'm gonna need you to be brave for me, okay? We can't keep running. If we don't take out Moff Gideon.
That's it, we have to fight.
And you with me?
Yes. Father and son, let's go. The return? Oh, am I gonna be right? Is it the return of Thrawn?
Bo-Katan, come in.
Received. Where are you?
We're safe. I escaped. I've got the kid. I'm going after Moff Gideon.
Or the kid got him.
No. We're under attack. I have to get the troops to safety.
Because I know where we can hold up. Let's go this way.
I really love that look of like the pirate Mandalorians, the refugees, like with the tattered robes and capes. I think that's really awesome. That's a great look. Woo, look at these TIE interceptors. Oh, some of the best ships in Star Wars. Look at that, with that sound and everything. How?
Their capital ship will soon be destroyed.
But the Mandalorian has escaped.
He has a tracker, or?
No, I'll
I love that his helmet looks like a crown. It's so Gideon.
R5. I need you, buddy. You're gonna have to.
I love how R5 is still a factor.
I'm counting on you.
Freaking Krang. Grogu Krang. I guess all of these astromechs have rockets, huh? That's very convenient. I would love to see R5 and Chopper hang out, because they're both of the more expressive astromechs. I like how Mando stole the fancy new jetpack.
The communications log says that's where he operates from. That's where we're going. Ready?
You got that, Grogu? Now repeat it back to me.
Down as reinforcements. Leave the capital ship behind as a decoy. Bo-Katan needs our help.
Is that smart?
Cruiser, everyone go. Move. Go. Go, move. Move.
Is he up to something?
Everyone, onto the dropships. Go.
Yeah, I would be suspicious too. Could he be the other spy from the last episode? So essentially you're putting all of your people onto the planet. I mean, I guess that's smart, but wouldn't you want to like fight these guys off somehow? Oh, this guy's a sitting duck. There's no way he's gonna survive this. That's some great freaking action scenes, though. I mean, I miss like the space battles of Star Wars.
The command center is down there. I don't have any.
This reminds me a lot of Phantom Menace. you know, when Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan were fighting, like those barriers that they had to fight. It reminds me so much of that. On my command. Sucker punch that dude. It's like bam.
Open the shield! Open the shield!
Open the blast doors! Open the blast doors! Damn, right in the neck. Oh, bye.
Not working!
R5, next shield.
Oh, we got those like first order sticks. Woo! Oh, he got a shield now? That's it. Let's go, Mando. This freaking mouse droid. A freaking nosy bastard.
R5, next shield. R5, next shield. R5.
Zap him. There you go.
5, next shield.
Woo!
R5, good job, buddy.
That was dope. Now get the hell out of there, because they're... Yep. Oh my god! You got an army of these... I've never seen that before. Oh my god, they're bumping into him and everything. Oh, one fell off. Oh, that poor dummy. See, that's the downside. Grogu can't really fight in that thing. At least not really. You need to give him like a gun or something. And I still think he needs to have like a windshield. Something to like protect him a little better. I wonder who these clones are based off of. Imagine if it was like based off of Din.
That's not Gideon.
No, it's not. Oh, he used it to clone himself? Oh, that's hilarious. They're all clones of Gideon.
Refuge in these surface caves since the purge.
Oh my god, it's like Land of the Lost for real.
You found underground gardens.
No. We planted farms.
Oh, they're very resourceful, huh?
Cultivated farms. Life persists.
Life found a way.
Lady Kryze, your reinforcements have arrived.
Was that the armor?
Let's take back our planet.
For Mandalore! That's dope. Yes! Let's go! Woo! Yeah! That was dope. Let's get it. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Woo! Bam! See, you've never seen that before. You've never seen like, you know, an army rush in the sky before like that. You've always seen it like on Game of Thrones on the ground as they rush into battle, but you've never seen it like in the air like that. That is so cool. Yeah, it's a setup, dude. He was waiting for you.
My clones! We're finally going to be perfect by adding the one thing I never had. The Force.
Really?
And incorporating it into an unstoppable army. And you.
Oh, maybe that's what he wanted Grogu for. It's kind of like Maximilian from the Black Hole. He's more machine than man. Oh, I love how you have the battle. Oh, snap. Oh, this is epic. You have this going on here. You have the battle in the air behind them. It's almost like Return of the Jedi. Oh. Come on, Grogu. You gotta do something.
No.
Yeah!
No. No.
He's angry. All right, let's see if this mecha droid armor is worth it.
No.
Ooh, damn. Right in the back. Oh my god. It's gonna be Grogu versus those guys? Ooh! Oh, this is so awesome. Nice! The knee missiles. Oh, wow, that was quick. How he doesn't trip on his own rope, I will never understand that. Jeez, man. What is it with the Empire and like robotic mechanical technology? They love that stuff. In the chest, son. Oh, Bo to the rescue. Let's go.
Got this. Go save your kid.
Bo-Katan Kryze. What's it gonna be this time? Surrender?
Yo, Giancarlo, he sounds awesome with that modulator. Where'd he get that from? Oh no. See? If you trained more with Luke, you could have taken these guys out. Nice. Oh, watch your sides. That's your kidney. Oh, that's right. Save Papa. Whoa, what the? Straight to the neck? What?
You did good, kid.
I don't know. I feel like they got taken out a little bit too easy.
Bo, Koska, come in. I'm coming in hot. Clear everyone out. I'm gonna take out the base. Hand over the Darksaber, and I will give you a warrior's death.
Never! Oh no! What? Oh, her hand's busted. It has to be.
Is gone. You've lost everything. Mandalorians are weak once they lose their trinkets.
Mandalorians are stronger together.
Forgot about me, dummy. Guys, there is a big ass ship coming down on us. We should probably get the hell out of here. Damn, take that, all of you. I love these two. They belong together. Oh, did he do a slide? Look at that, Grogu helping out. Yo! He got taken out by the ship. Oh my god. Look at that. Look at the strength of Grogu. He saved Mama and Papa. Is he gonna pass out again as always? Yep. Yeah, I can't believe Moff Gideon got taken out by that damn ship. It's like Chewie getting taken out by the moon in Heir to the Empire. Oh. It's the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Is everyone gonna get baptized now?
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors.
I swear on my name and the names of the ancestors.
This freaking kid. Can't stand this kid. Your dad sacrificed himself for you.
Forged in my heart.
And the words of the creed shall be forever forged in my heart.
Take that right on the helmet.
Grogu is my apprentice. He is no longer a foundling. Add him to the song.
He is too young to speak, so he is too young to take the creed.
Aww.
If his parent gave permission, couldn't he then become a Mandalorian apprentice?
Yes, but his parents are far from here. If they're even alive.
Yeah, we don't even know who his parents are.
Then I will adopt him.
Oh, yay! Official Papa!
This is the way.
This is the way.
Let it be written in song that Din Djarin is accepting this foundling as his son.
And I choose Bo-Katan as his mother.
You are now Din Grogu.
Din Grogu? Din Grogu.
You must leave Mandalore and take your apprentice on his journeys.
This is the way.
The Adventures of Din Grogu. What, are we going to see the mythosaur again for no reason? See, yeah, what's the point in that? Why are we seeing that? Why are they showing that? Light the forge! For Mandalore! I don't understand, what adventures does Grogu need to go on? I don't understand what that's supposed to mean, really. That looks like really bad puppetry. I'm sorry.
You made our jobs a lot easier.
We've both been chasing Moff Gideon. You would have gotten him eventually. I just got there first.
Oh.
I'm a bounty hunter by trade. Now that he's with me, I'll be more selective in my assignments.
Let me get this straight. You want to work for the New Republic?
So he's going to be a bounty hunter for the New Republic, essentially.
Contractor.
You know, this is against regulation. It'll never get...
Is that Filoni in the back?
What I want in return is that.
A scrap assassin droid head?
I need it for parts.
Oh, they're going to rebuild his stupid suit again?
The people of Navarro appreciate all you've done. This deed to a cabin just outside of town where you can lay low with your new family if you choose so.
Thank you.
It's nice. So he has a home, like a vacation home.
And I have a gift for you as well.
I am IG-11, your new marshal of Navarre.
Oh, wow. So, wow. Interesting. Interesting turn.
And serve at your pleasure.
That's interesting. Oh, I like his little hut. Nice little home. Chilling right in the front porch. Oh, that's interesting. Grogu, now, is he training or is he just doing that because he's hungry? What was that? What? That felt like a stupid network television show ending, you know, just like, like, what was that? Oh my gosh. So, okay. Well, I know they're not retired, but it's like, and the retirement of Din Djarin and Din Grogu as they enjoy their quiet times in the countryside. The end. Oh, that was so cheesy. I'm sorry. That was just really, really stupid for me. All right. Okay. So we're definitely getting an extra, like a post-credit scene here, because nothing, you know how Disney Plus usually zooms out as the credits rolls. So we might be getting a little extra scene here. Or not. Never mind. That was it. Okay. That is very, very interesting. An interesting end to what has been a very interesting season. Yeah. There are definitely some things to talk about. Yeah, I definitely have some thoughts and actually some legit concerns, I think, moving forward here. All right, so that was it. Episode 8. Chapter 24 of The Mandalorian. It ended, and you know, I remember during Celebration, Favreau one of the things that he was asked was, well, how do you think fans are going to react to the last 2 episodes of The Mandalorian? How do you think they're going to like react to the ending of season 3? And the thing that he said frequently was, it's going to leave the audience and the fans satisfied, right? So I'm trying to think, like, am I satisfied with what I just saw? I guess to a certain extent. I'm somewhat satisfied in the fact that it feels like a complete closure so far of this Mandalorian trilogy of seasons that we got, right? This last season being semi-messy, with maybe 30 to 40% of the season that really meant and progressed the overall arching story forward, to be quite honest with you. I felt like there was a lot of buildup to Moff Gideon that kind of fell short at the end. Yeah, we had like an amazing last 2 episodes as far as action is concerned, and the stakes were really high and all that stuff. You know, we saw his game plan, his overall plan that he had, you know, cooking up with the introduction of the new dark troopers, you know, utilizing the Mandalorian armor because of the Beskar that they were mining, and the clone technology so that he could build an army. I found it very interesting and kind of narcissistic that he was using himself as the samples of the clones, which I thought that was kind of funny. He mentioned that he was very close at perfecting them because he wanted to inject them with the Force, and I guess that's one of the reasons why he needed Grogu too. But that all was like so fast and so very little. You know, I felt like we didn't get enough time to explore that buildup, you know, explore how he was able to do all of that stuff and really prove to be a menacing force versus the Mandalorians, you know, especially Bo and Din, right? So I felt like, and this is something I mentioned before, when you have so much stuff happening in the season that most of it doesn't really progress the story forward, and you're promised that the last 2 episodes is really where the meatiest parts are going to be, there's that fear of things being rushed. And I do feel like this suffered a bit from that again, because we've seen this happen in the past, and I feel like we definitely felt like a lot of these things were rushed. Now, to like the average viewer, the average fan, someone who's like not into the weeds as like someone like myself or many of you out there, that's perfectly fine for them. You know, I'm pretty sure they are left completely satisfied with how this ended, with the little storybook ending. You know, like I hate it. I thought it was so cheesy the way like they kind of like zeroed in on Grogu, like I guess he's training or whatever, and you have Din just hanging out on the front porch, just chilling and all that. Like it's such like a storybook type of ending, and I guess they did that on purpose because now it allows them to kind of do whatever they want moving forward. But that's also where my concern is. My concern is, well, what's gonna happen with the Mandalorian show? Right now, it looks like if they wanted to, they could just completely close it out, and they don't need to do any more seasons after this. Why? Because they kind of closed out all the loose ends, so to speak, right? There's no really reason as of right now to return to this part of the world. You could explore what's happening on Mandalore with Bo-Katan and the rest of the folks there. You could explore that anytime you want with maybe a spin-off show, or possibly like in the Ahsoka series. Like that's stuff that you could, you know, obviously explore outside of the Mandalorian show itself. The adventures of Din Grogu now and Din Djarin, is there a reason to go back to them at this point? I don't think so, unless you want to sell more merchandise, because I really do feel like this is the most Disney-fied stuff that we've gotten in the last couple of episodes, with the marketing of Grogu in the mech suit and all that. You know, Moff Gideon in his like crazy souped up dark trooper outfit and all that. And of course Bo-Katan now with her dark saber, which is now destroyed. So that confuses me as well too, because there was so much emphasis and focus put on this dark saber, the ownership of the saber. You know, the one who owns the saber will rule Mandalore and lead the people and all that. We've seen the importance of this through the Clone Wars, through Rebels, now through the Mandalorian, right? Just to have it destroyed and then that's it, thrown away, as if it doesn't really matter. For me, that I found that to be a very confusing choice, creative choice. And what was the deal with the mythosaur? Why show the mythosaur those times and not have anything to do with it in this whole season? Now, I'm sure later on, if they want to explore more of that side, they could. But I don't understand what was the whole point in showing the mythosaur show up like that. Like, for me, I felt that was kind of like, you're giving us Easter eggs, but for what purpose? Just for sake of it? Or is there going to be a payoff later on down the line somewhere? So yeah, so I found a lot of things confusing and kind of disappointing, to be honest. Even though, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed a lot of the action scenes in this episode. I enjoyed the fights. You know, the one thing I loved so much was seeing all the Mandalorians and the troopers fight in the air with that crazy army bum rush that we are always accustomed to seeing, but on the ground, and now we saw it in the sky. I thought that was beautifully done, and it was so exciting. The fight between Gideon and Bo, I thought most of that was great. The whole Grogu thing with the Praetorian Guards and all that, I thought that was somewhat cool, but it kind of fell flat at the end, because I felt for such elite guards, they really got asked out very easily by this one guy. And yeah, I guess Grogu helped out a little bit. But I mean, if Paz couldn't do it, what makes the Mandalorian that much more special? I guess he's more agile, more strategic in his fighting and all that. Plus, he had additional help with a Force user. But at the end, I still feel like it was very quick. Seeing the Mandalorian go against those other troopers, like in the shields and all that, I thought that was pretty cool. So it was a lot of like cool visual stuff. But when you talk about like the meat of the episode, the meat and the content in the story, at the end, I still feel like it was somewhat lacking. And it ended the season kind of on a like, okay. I honestly, at this point, if you were to ask me, I don't care about any future seasons of The Mandalorian. Not right now. You didn't leave me with anything that would be like, you know what, I want to see how they resolve this. And I think in a way that could be where we're going. You know, I alluded to earlier and in other episodes before that there are a lot of rumors going around about Jon Favreau having a falling out with Kathleen Kennedy, Pedro Pascal having a falling out with Kathleen Kennedy as well, and maybe Favreau too. Because there were rumors going around that Pedro wanted to show his face more, and then, you know, that wasn't going to be the case or whatever. You know, they made a lot of point, and if you look at some of other channels or commenters and all that who has been talking about this episode, or not this episode, this season when it first started, one thing they pointed out, and you know, rightly so, that in the credits, it's the first time that they really credited the stunt guys who play Din, who plays the Mandalorian. What a lot of people didn't realize is that there were 3 people who play the Mandalorian. There's Pedro, who obviously does the voice and will at sometimes, if he needs to, be the face, right, when he takes off his helmet and all that. But then there are 2 other stunt people who do the fight scenes, and then separately does the normal walking everyday interaction kind of thing like that. There are 2 people that do that. So we didn't see Pedro's face at all in this season. So for all we know, he just did a lot of in-room studio time, just doing voiceover work, ADR and all that. I don't think, and I won't be surprised if we've come to find out that he was never on set this season, you know, and that could also be one of the results of the falling out that he may have had. And if it is true that all of these rumors really come into light, Pedro not being happy, Favreau not being happy, Kathleen Kennedy maybe having to do a lot more with the show than previously involvement, than her previous involvement, I believe she was the one who pushed for the Mandalorian episodes to show up in Boba Fett to kind of, push forward the reuniting of Grogu and Din, which was unfortunate because I'm sure there's a lot of people who never watched the Book of Boba Fett prior to season 3. So when they saw Grogu and Din together, I'm sure a lot of people in the beginning were like, well, how did that happen? I thought they were separated. I thought Grogu went with Luke and all that stuff. So what happened there? So people had to go back and rewatch those episodes from the Book of Boba Fett. And they could easily have done that because it really wasn't so tied into the centric storyline of the Book of Boba Fett, right? But if they left that for this season, then I think it would have given the season a little bit more meat to the bones, right? A little bit more depth. And I think it would have had a lot more importance as far as storyline is concerned. Because there was a lot of times where I felt they wasted so much time on ancillary characters, Adventure of the Week stuff. They put so much focus on the spy who works with Moff Gideon and, her interactions with Dr. Parshan, the clone doctor, right? Like, we had a full episode dedicated to that. Just to have his mind wiped out, turned into a vegetable, and for her just to be like, hanging out in the background here and there and all that stuff like that. So what's going to happen to her? It's just really, really, really interesting. And I also found it very interesting that this episode was called The Return. The return of who? Now, was it just the return of Mandalore under the rule of the Mandalorians? Was it that? Was it the return of IG-11? Now that he's no longer a suit of armor for Grogu, now they just reverted him back to his IG-11 ways. And now he's like new Marshal on Navarro to work alongside with Carl Weathers there. Is that the return we're talking about? What return are we is this really referencing to? A return to normality because Moff Gideon is gone? It would have been kind of poetic if the return was really Thrawn. You had a whole portion last week, this whole Imperial Council talking about the return of Grand Admiral Thrawn and how once he's there, the Empire is going to rebuild and, rule and claim and reclaim things and all this kind of stuff like that. Now, I know Moff Gideon was kind of impatient and was just like, where is he? Why don't we just do this on our own and all that? But you had all of that going on and then not to have any kind of payoff from that. And I felt like that a lot of that happened in this season where we're given a lot of little nuggets. And most of the time, there weren't any real payoffs at the end. Now, I'm not saying I hated this season, but this season definitely felt different from the last two. And it really all culminated in these last 2 episodes of this season. Did it leave me satisfied going back to all that? I guess. But I think at this point, if you were to tell me that there weren't going to be any more Mandalorian seasons, I think I would be perfectly fine with that. Because I feel like my focus right now and my excitement is really towards Ahsoka. That's number 1, right? I can't wait to see what they do there. And then like the Acolyte. I'm really, really fascinated to see some more of like the High Republic, Old Republic kind of stuff. Skeleton Crew sounds cute. I think that would be really interesting to see. But then honestly, if I want more of these Mandalorian stories, just give me a Bo-Katan series. Give me more of her because she was the focus of this season at the end of the day. And it goes back again to that little quip I made during one of the episodes where I'm like, we've been wrong this whole time. The Mandalorian is not about Din. The Mandalorian is about Bo. And I feel like maybe moving forward, that's going to be more and more the truth. I don't know. Yeah. And again, we don't know if Pedro is going to be involved with this anymore. I mean, it's easy work for him because, again, all he has to do is voiceover at this point. You could put anyone in that suit. It doesn't necessarily have to be him. He did not take off his helmet once in this whole entire season. And the rumors about him being in London during Celebration, but he never showed up at all during those 3-4 days. I mean, that's weird to me. I don't know. And again, that's just all speculation and all rumors and all that stuff like that. But still, it's stuff to think about, you know. And as a fan of Star Wars, as a fan of this show, it makes me concerned, you know. And I feel like a lot of people out there are feeling the same way. But, you know, to kind of close things out and recap it with the season 3, again, this season had a lot of ups, a lot of downs. It had a lot of cool things. You know, I enjoyed quite a bit of a lot of things that I saw throughout the season. And these last 2 episodes had definitely a lot of cool stuff. But I think at the end of the day, out of all the 3 seasons, this season kind of disappointed me overall. And I am semi-left satisfied, but overall not happy, you know, or not as excited as I felt like at the end of season 1 or at the end of season 2. I was gleaming. I was just bolstering about like, oh my God, this is like the best Star Wars I've ever seen, blah, 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 yada, 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 all that stuff. Right now, I don't feel that with this season. I felt more of that after watching Andor. Andor was the one that really blew my mind. You know, that was the same kind of feeling I had, you know, with season 1 of The Mandalorian, season 2 of The Mandalorian. Andor had me like, ooh, I want to see more of this, you know. And maybe Andor kind of spoiled me a little bit. Maybe it spoiled a lot of us, you know. The Mandalorian is really more of that fan-pleasing kind of cookie-cutter Star Wars that I think is safe, right? Because it appeals to all generations. Andor, I feel like, is for people like me who grew up with Star Wars, is kind of already done with like the whole family side of things, the whole simple storylines. We want to see more stuff, like more intense, darker stuff, more in the weeds kind of stuff. And I feel like for my generation, Andor is that. And we kind of want to see more of that. And I feel like this was more crowd pleasing and more like storybook, you know. And again, I have to refer to that storybook ending with the whole like Grogu thing. Like that just rubbed me the wrong way, you know. And it's weird. It definitely is weird. But I am very curious as to how all of you think about the last episode and the season in general. Are you happy with how this season turned out? What were some of your ups and downs? How did you feel about this episode? You know, what were some of the things you liked and some of the things you didn't like? Let me know all about them in the comments, because I definitely want to hear from all of you. And, you know, did this leave you satisfied? Again, going back to what Favreau said, let me know. I would definitely love to hear from all of you. And I think like in a week, I'm going to kind of put up another episode kind of discussing my concerns and my overall thoughts of The Mandalorian, you know, past, present, and future of The Mandalorian, especially with like the things and the speculations and the rumors going around. So if you want to see that, definitely stay tuned to the channel. And the best way to do that, obviously, is to subscribe. Don't forget, hit that like button, hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time a new video is uploaded. But yeah, that'll be it for me for this time around. Thank you so much for joining me on this Star Wars The Mandalorian journey with season 3. The next up, I believe we have Visions coming up, Visions 2. So definitely check out. I'll be doing the same type of watch alongs with that. And of course, when Ahsoka comes around. So if you're subscribed and you follow the channel, you'll definitely be able to join me on those great adventures as well. Also, don't forget, if you want LOWKEY Geek on the go, you could find audio versions of this on the LOWKEY Geek podcast channel. Just type in LOWKEY Geek on your podcast platform of choice, where you can find audio versions of this episode and a lot of audio versions of a lot of things that we do here on the channel for your downloading and listening pleasure. And one last time, if you're in a position to further help support the channel and help the channel grow, don't forget to check out the affiliates we have in the description of this episode, where you could find something cool for yourself or for a loved one. And by doing so, you'll be helping support this channel at no additional cost to you. And for all of that, I am always appreciative of it. But I'm going to head on out of here for now. So until next time, stay cool, stay classy, stay safe. Catch y'all in the next one. All right, peace out, y'all. May the Force be with you and also with you. Bye.